Fell down a flight of stairs in December of 2006. Nothing dramatic, no flashing lights, no ambulance, just a hard tumble, a few bumps and bruises, and the quiet confidence that I would be fine. I was 28 years old and still believed that if you could stand up after a fall, the damage couldn't be that serious. A week later, my left foot stopped listening to me. At first, it felt like clumsiness, my foot lagging about a half second behind my intention. Then my calf weakened, then my glute. My lower back began to ache in a way I had never experienced before. It wasn't sharp, it was deeper than that, dull, relentless, and personal, like a toothache buried in my spine. The pain climbed. By the time it reached my upper back, my body was no longer pretending. My left hand followed next. The middle finger, ring finger, and pinky began to lose strength. My forearm slowly thinned, as if something inside of me was being quietly unplugged. Sensation faded, movement disappeared. All I could still command were my thumb and index finger, two stubborn survivors holding the line. I didn't know it then, but my nervous system was being compressed piece by piece, like a city losing power block by block. New Year's Eve 2006 arrived without celebration. I spent the evening in a bathtub with hot water, soaking until my skin wrinkled and the pain dulled just enough to breathe. The tub was the only place that my body could feel neutral, neither moving forward nor falling apart. I had turned 29 on December 11th. The new year did not feel like a beginning. It felt like a warning. By the second week of January, I finally saw a doctor. Walking into his office required focus and negotiation with gravity. He ordered an MRI and told me he had suspicions, but he wouldn't say what they were. I didn't ask. Some part of me already knew that naming the fear would make it real. When Dr. Wright called me back for the results, I barely made it down the hallway. He didn't waste words. There were tumors in my spine. Not long after that, I was admitted into the hospital. The diagnosis came quickly: non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Aggressive, involved, unapologetic. I learned that when cancer shows up in the spine, it doesn't knock, it takes what it needs. They drilled a hole into my skull and implanted an Ommaya reservoir, a small port that allowed medication direct access into my central nervous system. It was surreal how calmly the body accepts invasion when survival is on the table. 10 radiation treatments followed, and a year of chemotherapy, and finally, in January of 2008, a stem cell transplant. I survived all of it. That sentence carries more weight than it looks like it should. Survival is not a single moment. It's a long negotiation with pain, fear, and the slow erosion of the person you used to be. My body changed, my thinking changed, my relationship to time changed. Healing didn't arrive as relief, it arrived as adaptation. I remained cancer-free. Years passed, life rebuilt itself quiet and practical. I learned to live inside the body that had been damaged and repaired at the same time. Strength returned, though not evenly. Sensation returned, though not completely. My nervous system learned detours. Then, in January 2025, a tumor was found on my vagus nerve. Benign. The word landed softly, but it didn't erase the memories stored in my bones. The vagus nerve, the highway between the brain and the body's most basic rhythms: heart rate, breath, calm, panic. The tumor was removed, and again I survived. I sometimes wonder how many versions of myself I've lived. The man who fell down the stairs, the man in the bathtub on New Year's Eve, the man learning to walk, think, and feel again. Survival did not give me superhuman strength, but it did teach my nervous system how to endure. What remained was not invincibility, but resilience, sharpened by proximity to the edge. And that, I've learned, is its own kind of power.